Hey everybody, welcome back. April 23rd, National Cherry Cheesecake Day. Love the cheesecake. Today we're going to put a twist on our cheesecake though, because I'm going to try something I'm taking from like 3 different recipes and inspirations and kind of melding them all together to make this new version of a cherry cheesecake. A new version for me anyway. Maybe some of you have done something like it on your own. I'm using frozen cherries, obviously, because it's not cherry season. So to get fresh cherries will be a little bit tougher, but that's okay. We're using the dark sweet cherries for that. It's not a lot of ingredients as far as what they are. I mean, it is a lot of cream cheese, but that's okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the idea of chocolate covered cherries by doing an Oreo cookie crust on this cheesecake, just so you have that chocolate with the cherry. And we're not doing a cherry filling topping kind of thing. We're actually going to cook down our cherries and mash them up, almost puree them, add it to the cheesecake batter, just so that way the cherry is throughout the whole cheesecake, not just some goopy cherry topping on it. I think it's going to be a cool idea. We might even drizzle some chocolate on it or something, just to add a little bit more of that chocolate covered cherry kind of vibe. Alrighty? So here's what you need for today. Let's get going on this one. Okay, for our cheesecake today, you need 6 8-ounce bars of cream cheese. You need 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, 5 eggs, 3 tablespoons of butter. You need about 25 to 30 Oreos. And for our cherries today, we're using frozen dark sweet cherries, a 12-ounce bag, thawed to room temperature. Okay, let's get started. First thing we want to do is we want to cook down our cherries. We want to put them into a pot. Dump our whole bag of cherries in there. And I'm going to add, I didn't put it in the ingredients, but I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar to this too, because I really want these to caramelize and get all nice and syrupy and gooey, okay? Because that's going to make it a little bit nicer in our cheesecake itself. Might sweeten it up a little bit as well, because there's no other sugar in this except for the sweetener-wise. As far as this sweetened condensed milk is the only thing that's kind of going to sweeten this cake up. There's nothing else. So this will help sweeten it up a little bit more too. So we're just going to cook this down and reduce it till it's nice and syrupy, and then we're going to chop it up pretty good in here, mash it up, because that's going to go into our cheesecake. Alrighty? So start that part first. Okay, and then while our cherries are cooking here, we'll get started on the next part of this. We're going to make the crust. So you want to take about 25 Oreos and put them into a food processor. Okay. And just pulse them and chop them up good. Okay, and then once you have a good crumb mixture, you just want to take your 3 tablespoons of butter and you're going to just drizzle this into your Oreo mix here while you're pulsing. It's kind of hard to do with, you know. Okay, so now you have this wet, crummy mixture here of Oreos and butter, and you're just going to take your spring form and you're going to put this right in there. Got to scrape the bottom to get the rest of this out of there. Okay. Just put all of that in there, and then what you're going to do is you're going to press this all along the bottom and a little bit up the sides, just so we make a nice chocolate crust base. Okay? It's going to be a good cheesecake today. Be right back after I do that. Okay, and as you can see, kind of see, your dark cherries with the sugar and everything turn into this nice caramelized, sticky, gooey mixture, and that's what we want. So we're just going to let this cool down a little bit, then we're going to put it in the food processor just to make it like a chunky puree, because that's going to get added right to our batter. Okay, speaking of that, let's get started on our batter. Be right back. Okay, so for our batter, there's our 6 blocks of room temperature cream cheese, so it's softened up pretty nice, because we're going to have to blend this, so you want to make it as soft as possible. Okay, now a cheat for that is if you need to do it in a hurry, just take a big glass bowl, take your cream cheese out of the boxes, but leave it in those foil packages. Just put them in a bowl with some warm water for about 10-15 minutes, and you get nice softened cream cheese. Okay, that's if you have to do it in a hurry, if you don't have time to leave it out for a long period of time. Okay, so to that, we're going to add our sweetened condensed milk. And then we're going to add our eggs one at a time until each one is incorporated, okay? Put that in there, and then one at a time. Okay, and then the last thing we want to do, we let our cherries come to room temperature, and we're just going to add this right to our batter, okay? That's the last thing you're going to add. Nice and chunky from the food processor. So we should get a nice mix of cherries throughout the whole cheesecake, which is exactly what we want, without having to have that fake canned topping all over your cheesecake. So much nicer to have real fruit and real berries and not all that syrup and nastiness. Alrighty? A nice purple color. I guess in honor of Prince, we're making a purple cheesecake. Alrighty, so this is just about mixed. In the meantime, I've wrapped the bottom of my spring form with foil. Very important, I've talked to you about this before. It will leak. I don't care how sealed you think your spring form pan is. And then I got our water bath ready that's going to sit in. Oven's preheating, 350. Alrighty, so let me get this into there, and that into there, and that into there. And we'll be back. Alrighty, our cheesecake is a beauty. No cracks. Look at that. No cracks. Water bath. We left it out to get to room temperature. Then we put it in the fridge for a couple hours. Now we're going to unveil it. Hopefully, I should probably score the side of this first. Hopefully it doesn't stick too badly. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Set that free. Yeah, it kind of stuck a little bit around the sides, but that's okay. Nothing's perfect in this world. This side of it's perfect. This side, not so much. But it looks really good. I mean, it's got that beautiful purple color from the cherries. Alrighty, let's cut ourselves a piece and give this one a taste test. It's always a good day when it's cheesecake day. Let's see. Sorry I'm putting my back to you here. I'm just trying to get a good view. Ignore those screaming birds in the background. They want a piece of cake too. Can't have any. Alrighty, there you go. Look at that. That's a beauty of a cake. Let's try this out a little bit. See what we got with the chocolate crust. Delicious. It's got that nice creamy texture that we like from a cheesecake, like that diner cheesecake texture, which I love. Great flavor. You get a little hint with the chocolate on the Oreo. Delicious, people. Cherry cheesecake day. Our version of cherry cheesecake. Don't do that canned cherry topping thing on your cheesecake. Either make fresh topping or cook them and chop them up like we did and put them right in the cheesecake. Alrighty? See you tomorrow, everybody.